Hello everyone, Brett the Comic Novice here, and for me, Spider-Man has always been one of those characters I've thoroughly enjoyed watching on TV. From my early childhood watching Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, to my teenage years when I was watching the Saturday morning cartoons on Fox, Spider-Man has been my favorite Marvel comic hero. However, up until about 2021, I had never cracked open a Spider-Man comic book, amazing, sensational, or otherwise. And so imagine my surprise when in early 2022, The Amazing Spider-Man received a brand new creative team and got a #1 issue. And although this lasted for about 5 issues before the story got hijacked by the Hellfire Gala and Axe tie-ins, imagine my excitement when I discovered that the Spider-Man line would get a brand new #1 from a creative team that was returning from years prior. However, after pre-ordering the first 4 issues from my local comic book store, I discovered that this #1 title might not be the perfect jumping on point, rather a actual continuation from the Spider-Verse, a miniseries that I did not pick up or read. So besides being enjoyable, I do have some questions for this comic book. Does this require any additional reading material for understanding? Well, there's only one way to find out, so let's jump in to this issue #1. So now going to the comic book, I will tell you, I was looking for any reason to ding this book and find some sort of fault with that. I don't know why I was doing that. I don't know if I have some underlying, wanting to make things worse than they actually are type of a scenario going on regarding this comic or reviewing certain things. That's what I was trying to get myself to do, and I will tell you, I could not do that. This is such a good book. The only complaint I have, and I'm actually kind of marveled by it, is somehow on this page, or this page, one of them. Anyway, there is a machine ding to the comic book. In the middle of a page, it was damaged. That's my only complaint that I could actually have with this comic book, because this is a fantastic story. We get a reprieve quickly of who Spider-Man is, and then of course what the story does on the second and third page, is it lets you know that Norman Osborn, the former Green Goblin, is working with Spider-Man. He's giving him a new mech or tech suit, which is going on in the pages of Amazing Spider-Man, which I have not read yet, but I just know, just based on what I've seen from covers. We have this great chase scene and heroicism. We are on Loom World, which I don't know what that is, but I'm just going to guess, into the Spider-Verse type of a thing. And we have a situation where whoever this is, I do know that they do say that, but they are trying to unwind and unweave certain things in Spider-Man's life, and the 616 Spider-Man is the, I guess, prime or the original Spider-Man or the most important one. And so you have a couple of things going on between, Loom World and this, and then, of course, we get this. I've never heard of Morlun before, but we have this reappearance of Morlun, and Spider-Man starts kicking his butt and tries to take names, and he goes on a whole bunch of monologues revolving around certain things. He does his best, and then the other Spider-Verse people get called in to help Peter Parker, and then out of the clear blue, near the very end, I will say, probably key point in some of these slides is people being stung by these spider flies, or whatever they're called. But it is, this is kind of a tease for the near future. But we have Miles Morales, we have Silk, and then as things seem to go very well, we have Spider-Man Noir come out to help things, and then, however, he stabs Spider-Woman, and she dissolves. It is the most amazing thing ever. She unwinds herself, and we find that Spider-Man Noir has these nice mandible type things, and maybe what these spider flies are, whatever they're called, I can't think of it. Maybe they have something to do with certain things. And Moreland is actually here. Again, don't know who he is, very novice as a comic book reader, but he is here to help Spider-Man. And we have the tease of a couple of other world Spider-Men. I know that's Gwen Poole, I believe, and that's Spider-Punk. I'm not sure exactly who that is, but they have become Spider. I will tell you, this is so exciting. I thoroughly enjoyed this. And in fact, because I love this so much, I'm sitting there like, I don't know if I can contain waiting this series out for 5 months. And it's one of those things that I'm now just thinking, because I believe the storyline kind of concludes in February. Like, do I just start trade waiting? Like, legitimately, what should I do to, I want the next part of this story. I'm so engaged by this. The writing of Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is fantastic. It's kind of like how I associate him, the animated Spider-Man series from the early 90s. That's the voice that I hear when I read Spider-Man usually. And I could hear that voice, that snarkiness, that playfulness that was throughout the entirety of this comic. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I cannot wait for the second issue of this comic book. And yeah, what are your thoughts? Have you read Spider-Man, this #1 by Slott and Bagley? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks to everybody who comment and send me emails. I appreciate it. Makes me feel, part of a community. I'm novice. I will make mistakes. And I appreciate, and I'm just throwing myself out there. I want to be creative. This is just a fun way for me to do some creativity stuff. Thanks for watching and subscribing and liking and whatever. And stay tuned until next week or next time until I do the next comic. So yeah, thank you.